last minute. Good to have you here. Good little group here for Wednesday evening. So yeah, welcome to Workout Wednesday. We've got a 51-minute session tonight where we're going to be working on developing our anaerobic capacity. So it sounds fancy, but basically what it means is we're going to develop your ability to produce a lot of power for a short amount of time. And you know, that's what really makes the difference in, you know, out on the road and on Zwift in an event or a race, is your ability to produce a lot of power, relatively speaking, for a relatively short period of time. So I'm talking over a minute or so is what we're going to try and develop today. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, it's fairly easy. You know, we can all ride steady for a medium amount of time, and you know what constitutes steady and a medium amount of time is different for all of us. But yeah, that's not really what dictates or determines how good or how strong a cyclist we are. It's our fast twitch muscle fibers, our type 2 muscle fibers. That's what's really really important for us as bike riders to develop, and it's when we stimulate those type 2 muscle fibers is where we get the superior, I guess, get the most training benefit, the best adaptions. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing we're going to do though is what we're doing now is warming up. And funny enough that just today actually the Zwift coaching podcast number 6 was released to come out, and the topic was warming up. So it's amazing actually the level of detail and how in depth you can go with just talking about a relatively simple topic such as a warm-up. You know, talking about the duration of a warm-up or length of a warm-up, how long you should spend warming up, how hard you should ride, how that varies for different types of events. But what it basically boiled down to was saying the shorter and the more explosive an event, the longer the warm-up needs to be. So on the other end of the scale, if you've got a long steady event, sporty riding, as many of us do, you don't need to spend too long warming up, and basically you spend the first couple of minutes of your event as the warm-up. So for today, because we've got a fairly intense specific session, we're going to need to warm up pretty well. So first thing guys, make sure you've got liquids nearby. Make sure you've got your fan turned on. I'm just going to turn mine up a little bit. I had mine on the slower setting, so now, yeah, it wasn't the slower setting, now it's on the fastest, because I think this could be a sweaty one tonight. So yeah, the warm-up today is only, well, we got 10 minutes of riding before we complete our first small effort. And even the first effort of a 10-second sprint is what we call an activation sprint or a surge, and it's just designed to get the blood flowing and just part of our warm-up routine. So that first sprint you're going to see me do shortly, think of that as part of the warm-up routine as opposed to training. It's all part of the training session, the training routine, but it's not designed to really stress your muscles and develop your sprint or your peak power. First sprint is just part of the warm-up routine, it's a little surge. And the idea of doing a little surge in the warm-up is just get all your muscle fibers firing, so they're all fully warmed up and they're able to be used basically come the main part of the session. So for a training session, if you've got all your muscles firing in the warm-up and you're ready to go, you're gonna do more muscle damage, you're gonna produce more power in your training event, which then obviously you recover and you can become stronger, and you do more muscle damage, and come event day whatever that is, sportif, whatever. Come event day, you know, the better warmed up you are. Again, it's just the more fibers, muscle fibers you've got, creating energy and able to produce power for you. So warm up is, yeah, some people kind of see it as a bit boring, waste of time, but you know, it's definitely, well, it's fundamental. Science tells us that warm up, if you warm up, you perform better. Simple as that. So I've been chipping on now for a couple of minutes, so we've got 3 minutes left of this warm up, and this is just a progressive ramp at the moment. And another thing that come out of this coaching podcast, and if you haven't listened to it, jump onto iTunes, SoundCloud or Podbean to find it. One thing that Kev Poulton's said, a bit of advice from him was, you'll know when you're warmed up and when you're ready to go. And there's two key things to look out for, and I'll call out 2 sensations to feel. One is sweat. So when you're sweating, that's a pretty good indicator that your core body temperature and your blood is warm and you're ready to perform. But also your pedaling stroke, your pedaling style. You know, when we jump on the first couple of pedal revs and first few minutes, we always feel a little bit laboured. Every you know, left, right, it's all a bit, you don't really feel at one with the bike. Whereas once we're warmed up, our pedaling should be a lot more fluid. We feel at one with the bike, and just that sense of, yeah, you kind of come around to, yeah, you come around and you're ready. And interestingly, you know, a warm-up doesn't need to be that long or that hard. So even for an intense session like what we're doing today, there's no need to do much more. So we're going to spend, well, a minute really easy, 8-minute ramp, minute easy, short sprint, then a minute. So 11 minutes and 10 seconds. And that is ample warm-up. Absolutely ample. That is a good warm-up. So don't feel like you need to do any more than that. Especially indoors. You know, outdoors where it might be cool, cold. You might be, you know, doing a bit more freewheeling and less pressure on the pedals. You may need a bit more to stimulate yourself. You may need a slightly longer warm-up. But indoors, certainly, I mean, 12 minutes or 11 minutes, we're going to be good to go. So it's under a minute now left for this progressive ramp. You should be feeling like you've got a bit of a sweat on now. I certainly have. And I can definitely feel my pedal. I just feel more at one with my bike now. You know, that fluid pedaling motion. Definitely feel myself, yeah, dialed in to the effort. So 15 seconds left, guys. I just noticed my heart rate's not showing. Well, I'm gonna pair my heart rate for you to show you I have got a heart. There we go. Here we go, back in the zone. Right, easy minute now, guys. So we've done that ramp, that progressive ramped effort. Now we're gonna have an easy minute. Just catch our breath again. Take a drink, important, take a drink. Your fan should be on to keep you nice and cool. So the kind of the outside of your body should be feeling, whee, monthly goal met, 300 Ks, right on to me. Right on. But yeah, the outside of your body should be, yeah, trying to keep it as cool as possible. It's the inside of your body you're trying to really warm up. Just trying to manage the temperature of your outside of your body. So, activation sprint, guys, here we go. Lovely. Nice one. So that little surge there, that's just playing a role in our warm-up. Just helping us warm up. So that little spike then will, yeah, all of a sudden our muscles would have been given a signal. Come on guys, up the ante. Give me some power. Recruit. And yeah, get ready for battle really. So now next time we do the first minute of these efforts, I'm going to have more muscle fibers helping me produce that power. So the main nuts and bolts of the session, guys: 4 times 1 minute anaerobic capacity efforts times 2. So it's two distinct blocks. Each block has got 4 efforts in. Each effort is 1 minute long, and the first of those starts now. Okay guys, so this should feel like a pretty solid effort. Come on guys, halfway. Last 5 seconds. Good job everyone. Whew. Good job. Now these minute efforts are really intense, okay? So they're what we call zone 6. There's one zone below your kind of your new muscular max, so you're sprinting. So this is high power. It's designed to be, you know, for a minute. I'm hoping we could all smash it a bit harder than we just done, but the training benefit comes through repetition, just repeating these efforts. So we're going to do 8 1 minutes in total, split into two blocks of 4. And obviously that cumulative workload is what's going to really support the yeah, the stimulation and the training and our adaptions. So good job everyone. That's the first one done, and you know, chances are we're still, for some people, we're still warming up, you know, both physically and psychologically. You know, for those who have had maybe a busy day in work, your body won't quite be in sync, won't quite be in tune with the session and with training today, and your mind not quite be there. But hopefully that first effort, you know, obviously the activation sprint and then the first effort would have helped get you in the zone, and hopefully you're on it now. You're in for the long haul. So another minute guys, then we go again. Another big minute. Another big minute. And try, you know, visualize yourself in these minute efforts. You could visualize yourself attacking and getting across to your mates who are up the road. It could be a short steep climb that you're just going to hit flat out and just try to get up as quick as possible. You could be in a Zwift race, and it's, you know, come towards the end maybe, or you want to make an attack, whatever it may be. There could be a whole range of situations where you're having a good 1 minute power, big power output for a minute. Just having that ability to produce big watts, which obviously translates into a lot of speed for a minute. You know, it's invaluable. It's very hard to train, which is why, you know, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of focus. So unless you're doing this type of effort, you're really going to struggle to, yeah, pack a punch come event day. And that's what we're all about here. Quality over quantity. We're only on here for 50 minutes, but every one of those minutes is going to count, especially the next minute now. Okay guys, buckle up, here we go. All right. And there's no cheating around this, guys. You just got to sit here, just turn those pedals and produce that power. Now any body movement is wasted energy. Now it's diverting oxygen-rich blood away from your legs, which are going to be craving oxygen at the moment. It's just going to be diverting. If you're at the saddle or you're moving around, you're just going to be diverting that fuel to other muscles in your body, like your back, your neck, and all sorts. Good job, guys. Keep going. Oh, well done, everyone. Great efforts. Great efforts. Nice one. So you should all have been working pretty hard there. Should be breathing pretty deeply. As I say, we're working anaerobically, so your body's going to be taking big, deep breaths, trying to just get as much oxygen as it can, possibly can, from your lungs. That's how you're breathing deep. And obviously your body just cannot provide enough oxygen, enough fuel for you to produce this kind of power. So we're working anaerobically, which you can only sustain for a finite amount of time. And you know, by the end of the session, we're going to be hitting our physiological capabilities. You know, really stressing our bodies. This is a real tough session, guys. Remember, keep drinking. Keep those liquids up. Lovely. And in terms of cadence, there's no prescribed cadence for these efforts, okay? You know, we are really pushing ourselves to near our our max capabilities. So it would be unwise to factor in, you know, to try and be too smart, basically. You know, we're producing a lot of power. If you're trying to do any specific low cadence works, it's just going to cause, it's just be too hard, basically, and you won't get through the effort. So the advice here, cadence-wise, is use whatever cadence, or pedal at whatever cadence you need, pedal at whatever speed you need to produce the required power. Just get through the session. And you know, if I was to comment on a good cadence, you know, and don't take this as being, if you're not, you know, near this cadence, don't take it as being I'm doing it wrong, because there is no prescribed cadence here. But if you could ideally be around 85 to 95 revs would be pretty good. 80, 90, around that region. So if you're pedaling way over 100 revs a minute, probably, well, that's pretty impressive for one, but probably slightly inefficient. And if you're pedaling around 65, below 70 revs a minute, again, you want to kind of bring your cardiovascular system into play more and pedal a little bit faster if you can. Okay guys, third minute, let's go. Good on, guys, 5 seconds left. Well done. Well done, everyone. A little reminder just popped up on screen then, saying stay composed, and that is yeah, really important, vital. As the effort gets hard, there's a natural tendency there to kind of rock and roll and let your form go. You just got to sit there, and as Mr. Dam says, you just got to suck it up. Just sit there, get those legs turned around, produce that power, and just soak it up, soak that effort up. Like a sponge. Just absorb that workload and get the job done. Right. Just got a couple of questions here. Got a question here saying, asking about, should an interval session just be made up of high intensity intervals, or can you mix it in with some steady kind of zone 2 riding to kind of develop your endurance? And the answer is, in an ideal world, if we could kind of design our own perfect training environment, you know, you tag efforts like this onto the back of or into the middle of a longer, steadier ride, and the kind of the zone 2, the steady bit, will help develop our general fitness or our aerobic base, and that's absolutely vital for us as cyclists. But you know, for cyclists who haven't got the luxury of having hours and hours and hours to train each day, if you're going to let something slip, it's got to be the quantity side, or the volume side. Because if you've only got an hour or so or less to dedicate towards your training on a given day, you know, the smart money goes on training intensely, such as developing these type of efforts. So you get a lot more bang for your buck when you stimulate your fast twitch muscle fibers, your type 2 muscle fibers, which are, you know, basically when you go anaerobic, and you're required to do intervals basically to hit those and stimulate those muscle fibers. So guys, effort number 4, the last effort of this first block. Good job. Let's get on it. Good job, everyone. You can see a lot of high watts per kilo figures there. Respect. $15 seconds to go. That's good, guys. Stick with it. All the way. Nice one. Oh. Whew. Good job, all. Good job, good job. Oh. That is the first of 2 blocks complete. Block 1 down. So we've just completed 4 anaerobic capacity efforts, which basically we've gone pretty damn hard, almost as hard as we can for a minute, 4 times, and that's going to help nudge our anaerobic capacity up. We're going to rest now for 6 minutes. So we've done a minute, so we've got another 5 minutes easy. Kind of just spinning the legs recovery, and then we're gonna go again for another 4 times 1. Right, just need a couple more questions, guys, from Facebook. We've got a question here from Mark Robertson about cadence. He's saying, my cadence starts off high basically and then kind of settles down. So I think it starts off, gets up to about 100 maybe, 100 revs a minute for the first 5 seconds or so, and then drops down to 85 revs a minute. Well, Mark, good observation, and I'm putting that down to the first couple of seconds. For me, it's kind of, I'm accelerating into the effort. So I'm going from producing 100 watts to having to produce 450 watts. And obviously you can do that in two ways. To produce more power, you either produce more force, so you press, or you pedal faster. So the more force option is basically doing more muscle damage, you're recruiting more muscle fibers, and you're gonna, kind of create more lactic. The other option is use pedal, apply the same force, or similar force, but apply it a lot faster. So I guess naturally my style, when, and this is what's shining through here, my natural kind of cycling style and training style, riding style is to increase my cadence as opposed to increasing the force, kind of preserving my legs and just preserving my legs basically, in favour of using my aerobic system instead. So I hope that makes sense, and that's what I'd encourage all you guys to do as well. If you're going to make an acceleration, don't just put it into a bigger gear and apply a lot more force and still pedal the same speed. You know, get a little bit of zip into your legs. You know, increase your cadence onto the wheel. You'll be a lot more responsive. You do less damage to your muscles. So less muscle damage. You generate less lactic acid. And you just basically making the most out of your system, your heart and your lungs, which are obviously vital, huge organs that help us to produce power on a bike. So guys, we've got another 2 minutes, easy. Enjoy it, because we go again in 2. So keep your drinking, keep you topped up. Okay, keep your liquids topped up, guys. And I hope that fan's still on. I think I mentioned this last week, but I think it's a few weeks ago I weighed myself before I got on Zwift. I was going to see how much weight I lost through dehydration in a 1 hour session. It was like a 55-minute session. And I can't remember the exact figures, which you're probably thinking, why am I telling you this story then? But roughly, it was about 750 grams, or 750 mil, that I lost through liquid in a 50-minute session. So I drank 1 bottle, so I rehydrated with 500 mil, but I was actually 250 grams, quarter of a kilo lighter at the end of the session than before I started, having consumed a full bottle. So if you're doing a fairly intense session like today, and you're consuming anywhere less than 1 500 ml bottle, you can almost guarantee you are dehydrating yourself, and it's A, obviously not really healthy for you, but B, that will have an impact on your performance. And you know, training on Zwift, you know, performance, you may think, so what? But you know, it's going to have then a knock-on effect on your recovery. You know, after the session, you'll have to start that hydration process, whilst your body could be focusing its attention on becoming stronger and recovering. So just try and be the perfect athlete if you can. And we're not all pros, and it's not really a professional thing to do. Keep hydrated. It's just common sense and good practice. Okay, guys. Second block, minute 1. Let's go. You can see my heart rate climbing pretty quickly. There you go, big attack, guys. Visualize yourself doing whatever you need to. You might be attacking your mate, following your mate, just attacking yourself. You may just love hurting yourself and causing pain, in which case you don't need any added stimulation. Last 10 seconds. Oh boy. Whew. So you can see there in 1 minute, my heart rate raised about 40 beats. So 30% is jumped up in that last minute. That's a pretty significant, kind of increase in elevation in heart rate in a short period of time. But that's how it should be. It just proves, it supports the fact that, I'm producing the power, which says I'm hitting the right zones. But that heart rate also supports the fact that I'm working hard. So it's all good. And a test of, or sign of how fit you are, is after each effort, how quick your heart rate comes down. So you can see mine slowly creeping down, 135, 134, 33, I fell pretty quickly then. Must mean I'm quite fit, it's quite nice. But over time, as you do this session, you will hopefully notice your heart rate comes back down to normal quicker, which is one sign of ceteris paribus, all other things being equal. That's one sign of kind of an increased fitness, is how quickly you can recover. Of course, it depends on what you've done the day before, how fatigued you are, things like how much caffeine you drunk, and what stimulation you've had through the day. All these different factors come into play. But as a basic rule, the faster your heart rate comes down after an effort, the fitter you are. And it's when you can really, your heart rate's really responsive, kind of up with efforts, down in recovery, that you'll tend to be fresh. If there's kind of a bit of a lag in getting your heart rate up, you can't really hit, get your heart rate up high, anywhere near your max. That may be a sign that you're tired, you're fatigued. Okay guys, next minute we go in 40 seconds. This is brilliant, isn't it? This is brilliant. Don't know about you guys, but I'm in the zone here. It's feeling good. And that's one thing I really get from the Zwift. You jump on in workout mode, you've got a specific workout there. On the left hand side, it's got everything you're doing. And my sights are firmly fixed on the end, completing the session. There's no way I would get off this turbo until I complete every interval. And then when you finish the session, you just get that release of endorphins. I'll carry on after this effort. Yeah, get that release of endorphins, and you just feel on top of the world. Great feeling. Okay guys, let's nail this. Whew. That was a sore one. got another question here from Brad. And Brad's asking, does cadence vary indoors versus outdoors? And the answer is, well, no. What does vary your cadence is your natural tendency across different terrains. So some people are on the flat in a group where you're not producing much power, may be able to pedal along nice and quickly, a nice high cadence. And if you're not that strong, when you're required to produce a lot of power, a lot of crank torque, then such as up a hill, if you're not that naturally strong, you're gonna struggle to produce a lot of power while pedaling quickly. So you're naturally you're gonna just change down in search of that kind of magic gear which doesn't exist. So I would argue that the stronger riders and more trained riders who train their cadence will be able to better regulate their cadence indoors and outdoors. Whereas a weaker rider, they may come to hills and chances are their cadence is going to go through the floor and they'll pedal quite slowly. And I think one of the good things about Zwift and erg mode is you can kind of program, well, this session is a great example, it's a programmed power and you are required to produce that power at all costs. So whether you pedal fast or slow, you're still going to be producing the power required for the session. But I think a lot of it, comes down to your natural tendency, and then the terrain as well. A nice fast bit of road outside, chances are we'll start pedaling faster and our cadence will increase. Whereas a grippy bit of road goes uphill, our cadence is going to slow down. And I think whereas on Zwift probably our cadence is a bit more consistent, unless you're going up the Zwift, of course. Okay guys, next effort, here we go. So I'm just going to vary my hand position here. So this one I'm going to sit up on the tops. It's kind of the position I would adopt when climbing hills. Hip flexors nice and open, really engaging my hamstrings and glutes. That was a tough one. At the start of the session I spoke about the cumulative training effect of this session. The fact that it's not just we're not just doing one effort here. And although we can probably in any one of these minutes go harder and produce more power, it's that combined cumulative training effect from making these repeated efforts. That's what really is going to help stress our system, create that muscle damage, that deep muscle damage, and lead to greater adaptations basically. So we come back next week, in a few weeks' time, stronger cyclists. So that was number 7 of 8. We're number 3 of 4 in the second block. So we've got 1 more minute left, and it starts in we've got just under 2 minutes to go to the next one. Oh. So guys, anyone who's who's following this on Facebook, any more questions you've got, fire away in the comments, and I'll try to pick them up and provide you a bit of a response. Got a question here from Andrew. So I think the question's about, it's kind of a follow-on question from something I said earlier. So yeah, the intervals we're doing here, so the minutes are definitely anaerobic, but around that, you know, I would say trying to cram any more anaerobic top end work in a session like this, even if you had a couple more hours, you're going to pad it out with some zone 2 base miles. I would say, you know, any more than 8 of these 1 minute efforts, flat out 1 minute efforts, is probably too much, and I think you won't be able to commit to each of those minutes properly. So this is where, you know, too much quality can be a bad thing, tip you over the edge, unless you're, you know, super fit, full-time racing cyclist. But for most of us, if I had more time today, I would not do any more efforts. I would spend a bit more time riding steady, zone 2, you can press up into zone 3, and you're just developing, yeah, just that all-round conditioning, aerobic base, just developing that level, yeah, that sense of fitness. And that's what helps really bring your heart rate down and help you recover in between efforts. It's just that fitness. Okay guys, last one. Well done guys, 10 more seconds left. All the way. Good job. Oh, well done everyone. Awesome job. Awesome job. Another 2.5 minutes now left recovery. Then we've got a 15-second bonus sprint, which you've all earned the right to do. Well done. And this is kind of a little personal training method or technique. Because, you know, we don't get that many opportunities to practice our sprint on tired legs. You know, in order to develop your absolute peak power, you're hitting your neuromuscular max, you need to do that while you're pretty fresh. However, the kind of crossover of that to sprinting in the end of an event is slightly different, because obviously at the end of an event you're quite tired, and the sensations and the feel of it is it's all very different, and the sprint is more of a laboured sprint. So yeah, we don't get too many chances to practice sprinting when tired, or sprinting when we've got some element of fatigue in our legs. So I like to, every opportunity I get, I like to sprint on tired legs. So pretty much most road rides I do, or most Zwift sessions I do, whatever I've done in the session, unless it has been a sprint session anyway, I will finish with a sprint. It's only got to be short. It's only got to be 15 seconds long, and you've only got to do one of them. But just throw one sprint into the mix, and that's just gonna kind of teach your body. You know, we don't always sprint when we're fresh. Just saying, Matt, you know, sometimes you got to sprint when we're tired, man. You got to get ready for this. You got to know what this feels like, and that's what this is doing now. This sprint in 45 seconds time. It's getting ourselves used to those sensations of producing a laboured sprint. So yeah, let's just try and pump out as many watts as we can. Let's commit here, guys. 30 seconds time, 15 second sprint, and then it's just a cool down, plain sailing all the way home then. So, quick drink. Right on, guys. Get ready. Oh man. Whew. Well done, everyone. Good efforts. Good efforts. Cool down time. Cool down time. You've all deserved this. You've all earned it. Oh man. Awesome. So yeah, cool down time now, where you can kind of reap the benefits of all our efforts just then. And if you look back at what we've completed 8 big minutes. No worries, Demo 2, thank you for joining. Now I just send a quick message to all the riders. Yeah, we've completed 8 big minutes, as we call them. You know, kind of like I always refer to as kind of that golden minute. You know, a good cyclist, you know, to be I would kind of classic, all good cyclists are able to produce a good minute of power. You know, it comes in so useful in so many different scenarios, which is why I definitely think it's worth developing for everyone. You know, racing cyclists, I think the benefits are obvious. For you know, just a cycling enthusiast who goes out once a week on the road maybe and rides Zwift twice a week, you know, for you that sense of being able to, you know, you hit a nice tailwind section, the ability just to, you know, produce a lot of power for a minute and just sail along with that tailwind to make the most of it and just go fast for a minute, you know, those sensations, that's pretty cool. And you know, you might get to a short steep climb, the ability to just produce a lot of power and just get up over the thing, that's quite nice as well. So yeah, I think having a solid 1 minute power is yeah, a luxury that we can all realise, we can all have and benefit from, but not a lot of us give it the time and attention, focus, whatever that is required. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this session today, guys. Been a pretty tough one, I'm sure you'll all agree. But it's yeah, rest well now, so make sure you fuel. You know, we haven't really depleted our glycogen stores too much, but there's some sorts of carbohydrates now, some protein, also repair your muscles, obvious vitamins and minerals, everything. It's all good. It's all good stuff that's going to help you yeah, come back fitter, faster, stronger. So you can get all that in some of these sports recovery drinks. Obviously all square meal, whatever works for you, and obviously hydrate as well, guys, absolutely key. As I said earlier, I guarantee we've all lost a lot of liquids, so gotta put those back into the system if you want to fire on all cylinders. So yeah, guys, just last little plug from me. I'm here every week, every Wednesday, Workout Wednesday with me, Matt Rowe. So yeah, great to have you on next week. Every week is a different session to keep it interesting. There's different focus every week. So today was developing our anaerobic capacity. Sometimes it's developing our threshold. Sometimes it's, you know, lead outs. Like last week was lead outs. So yeah, every week's different. Every week's fun. I think it's fun. So yeah, come join me, guys, and also take a listen to the Zwift coaching podcast, guys. Hopefully there's yeah, some stuff you can all learn from in there. Again, I'm certainly learning with each podcast, and it's funny, there's often not a right or wrong answer. with cycling and training and coaching and all that stuff is there's numerous right answers, and it's just trying to find out what works for you as an individual. And the more we learn and the more you learn about yourself and about the science, some of the basic science behind the sport, it's all going to help you get a better experience from bike riding. So thanks guys, see you next week.